When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Well, good morning. Happy Tuesday, folks. Welcome to Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. Dealing with some internet issues, so we're going to just keep our fingers crossed, Johnny, and roll with this today. Going to be a fun day for John Mallory and I, well, at least for some of us maybe, but we're going to do this show together here today, Johnny, and then I'm going to fill in for Prater and host with you from 3 to 6 today. So plenty of time we get to spend together today, man. How's it going?
It's going well. Appreciate you. It's one of those Tuesdays that feel like Mondays. I love these because now we're on a short week, right? And I was thinking about this driving in this morning, hosting the show with you, and we've hosted a lot of shows together on a lot of different networks like over the years, but I don't know when the last time was. I don't think in the RowPaint.com studio, me and you have ever hosted a show together. Every time
we have.
Really? Because it feels like every time we do Idaho Sports Talk together, you're in on Zoom. You're at your house.
Yeah, I usually have my kids, and so that's kind of the agreement I make with JP. Well, I'll fill in for you, but with my kids, I got to stay at home. But there was a day, I want to say last year, man, before a basketball game, where you were doing singing some weird song during Rock Jocks and Culture. And I had you on video. I had you on video, and you weren't wanting me to post it on social media, but I did anyway. And I think that's what led to the you getting the cameras in the studio. So we have more of that kind of stuff documented now.
So, well, today for Rock Jocks and Pop Culture, it's going to be, I'll just tell everybody now, the music question, the rock question, I will be singing. So I'm going to put something fun together. But thanks again for having me on. And yeah, a lot of little local nuggets flying around here, Rainmaker.
Yeah, we'll get warmed up with our 30-minute discussion here and then expand on some of the topics, later from 3 to 6 when I'm filling in for Prater on Idaho Sports Talk. So looking forward to that and appreciate you and JP asking me to help out again. Apologize for the Wi-Fi issues. I can tell it's not great today, but as long as you can hear me, who cares if it's not lining up properly? We'll just make it through today and see what happens. But Mohamed Sylla, 6'11" center, Johnny, let's start there. We'll start with the addition before we talk about the departure, and then we're going to talk some Boise State football as well. We just saw Andy Avalos with the bat siren. They've got a new commit for the 2023 class. But a 6'11" center, Johnny, Mohamed Sylla, transfer from Detroit Mercy, was in town on a visit over the weekend. He commits. The stats don't blow you away. I know a lot of fans are a little underwhelmed when you look and see average 1.5 points a game, 0.7 rebounds a game at Detroit Mercy, but he only played in 10 games, Johnny. There is a little more of a backstory to that. He was at a junior college. He had to leave the junior college for some other personal reasons. He did not get cleared at Detroit Mercy until like January. And then right after he got cleared, he got COVID apparently. And so only played in 10 games. And I think that, was just some other circumstances going on. But what do you make? He's 6'11", 235. I'm told he's maybe even a little bigger than that right now, 240, 245. But he's a shot blocker, a rim protector, more of a defensive guy. But what do you make of Big Mo being added to the Boise State roster?
It'll be interesting to see what this staff can do with this kid, right? Because obviously you mentioned it's 6'11", 235. I mean, in the layup line, this kid's going to look like a 4 or 5 star kid, right? I don't really know why he didn't play much either. I don't follow the Horizon League. I know Detroit's coach, Mike Davis, used to be at Indiana, actually took them to a national championship game in the early 2000s. If you remember, he's been a good coach. He's been all over the place, and Mike Davis has had a good reputation in the past, BJ, for getting high-level talent to places like Detroit and other places he's been overall in his career. Mike Davis, I think he was with UAB for a while. He was with Texas Southern, a couple other places, but feels like a project to me. I'm not going to lie and think that, oh my gosh, they found Armouche's replacement. Yes, move on. I mean, it sounds like a project, and I think this coaching staff is, I think it's in a good position to be able to develop this kid. So we'll see. When's he getting to campus? Like ASAP this summer? Is he going to be here working out?
Yeah, I would assume in the next couple of weeks. I think they start their 8-week program here pretty soon. I know who was the other high prospect? And his name's blanking me. The top 100 kid from Arizona.
Devonair Dutrieve or Emmanuel?
No. The one they just got. The high school kid. That was like top 20 in the class. What was?
Is he in campus? Is he on campus yet?
I can't. My mind's blanking. But the high school player that was top 100. Somebody on social media can tell me. In Sada Nganga. He's playing with the Angolian national team right now, and then I think he'll in a tournament somewhere, and then he'll be joining them fairly soon. But yeah, no, I do think the coaches deserve a little bit of the benefit of the doubt at this point. Yeah. You say project, but he only has 2 years left of eligibility, so it's not like he's some guy that's a freshman here. But so you don't have a ton of time to wait on him. But the player that was described to me by somebody in the program, Johnny, that he compares to or to think of, maybe not the exact same player, but in terms of just a guy that is what you're going to get, is Nathan Mensah, the center at San Diego State. A big guy in the middle, a shot blocker, just a dominant presence, going to throw down some huge dunks, going to alter some shots on the interior, and is going to rebound. And again, I don't say completely throw out the stats at Detroit Mercy, but again, there were some other circumstances that kept him ineligible for part of the season, kept him out with COVID, from my understanding. And so he just didn't get a chance to play until midway through the season. It just didn't fit there. So I don't think on the surface it's fair to just look at his stats and say, okay, we're getting a guy that averaged 1 point a game and played 4 minutes a game at Detroit Mercy. How's that going to compare to the Mountain West? So okay, I'm not saying he's going to come in, and I'm not saying he's not going to come in and be Mladen Armouche or be a first-team all-league player. I'm not saying that. I just think there's more circumstances to what you're seeing on the stat sheet. But I do think that, it's June and they needed somebody, and they got that spot now. They needed a big guy. But I think a little bit of all the people ripping on the coaching staff, and there was a lot of angst on social media when this happened, when everybody went and Googled him real quick and saw he didn't do much.
In the portal with better numbers from bigger schools, right? That's what the fans are pissed off about. Why this guy? So you got to trust the coaches if you really support this team. And if this guy can end up growing into the potential, starter or playing high level minutes guy, which I'm sure they're hoping he can do, then great. But if this guy doesn't play at all this year, if we see what he did last year at Detroit Mercy, if he does that at Boise State, I mean, this is going to be a big swing and miss here. I think there's a lot of other capable players in the portal that have that game experience, that have the box scores. You can look at, okay, they have actually played at this level. Mohamed Sylla has played one game at 15 minutes. That was the most action he got for a single game last year. I'm sure you looked him up too. He had 4 points, 4 rebounds, 1 block. Can he go from that to playing? I mean, what you tell me, Milner and Mohamed, those are your 2 centers, right? I mean, is that your rotation? Are you going to start Milner and play him about 27 minutes, and then Mohamed plays 13 to 15 minutes? Is that how you think you're going to balance out? This tells me that Lucas Milner has he's the clubhouse leader to be the starting center on this team next year, and he's got better every year. I'm not one of these guys that says, oh, Lucas Milner can't play. I think he's going to be even better next year. What worries me about Milner is the physicality. I think he has good hands and good feet and good athleticism, good moves there. I just don't know if you're going to play San Diego State up and down for 40 minutes, if he's going to be able to get in and bang bodies with some of those dudes. And maybe this is where this guy comes in and helps you in that regard at 6'11" and 235.
Yeah, and as I said, I'm told he's actually a little bigger than that, maybe 240, 245. But yeah, no, I don't know how that's going to break out. They got 8 weeks of summer workouts and all kinds of things to figure out who's going to start. But I would suspect it'd be more of a 50-50 type thing. I don't know who starts, but they'd probably play similar minutes and complement each other. I think Milner gives you a little more of an offensive game. And from what I'm told, Sylla's more of a defensive guy. But, when you're 6'11", you saw his wingspan in some of the pictures of him announcing his commitment. And, just go on YouTube and Google his name. I mean, again, he doesn't have a lot of stats from Detroit. But if you go look at his junior college tape, his offensive game isn't terrible. He had some nice post moves in the paint. I mean, we'll see. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not saying he's going to be a first team all league player. He could be a bust. You could be right, Johnny, or folks that are expecting him to be nothing. That could be the case. But all I'm saying is, let's take a deep breath. Let's realize that there's probably more going on here. The coaches know what they're doing. You're saying there's other players in the portal that have better stats. Well, for whatever reason, Boise State picked this guy. So let's you're talking about the Mountain West Coach of the Year, a team that just went to the NCAA tournament and set a school record for wins, a program that has strived on finding these kind of under-recruited guys and diamond in the rough, so to speak. I just, didn't get quite all the angst from fans. I get it, but I just say, let's find out more information on this kid. Let's relax. Let's actually see him in a Boise State uniform. If he plays 5 games, if they're 5 games into the season and he's played 3 minutes or nothing's happened, then you can say you missed it. But in the middle of June, when I would just say, let's give the coaches a little bit of benefit of the doubt.
Can he be better than Lucas Milner? If that's the case, then he's probably going to be your starting center this year. If he can't, then he'll probably have a role. I think this is going to be kind of a 2-headed monster at center for this team, and we'll see. And not every team needs a big man that can score 15 a game. I mean, or Armouche scored, 11 or 12? Not every team needs that, especially the way certain teams operate now in college basketball that like to get up and down. A lot of times the role of a center or the guy in the middle now has changed certain ways. So we'll see what happens. The kid looks good in the uniform. I'm not going to lie. 6'11", 235, 240 like you're seeing. I saw some pictures of him in Detroit Mercy, and he's got that NBA type of build. So it'll be fun to see him come in and see what he can do. And you said he has 2 years left, so he's going to be ready to rock and roll. Like, he's not coming here to sit for 3 years and try to learn college basketball. He's going to have to help this team this season, and we'll see what happens, man. Yeah.
Yeah, they're adding some athleticism, man. Leon Rice used to joke with us about how they looked like the swimming team when they got off the bus, or walking through the airport, not a basketball team. And now you look and see this guy coming in and, 6'9", Sada and Ganga, and you got Chibuzo Agbo now, and some of these guys, I mean, they're looking like they continue to build that athletic type team. And, we'll see. So it'll be an interesting next couple of weeks, get him on campus. The coaches will probably let us come watch some workouts, do some interviews, and we'll take a look and see what we got with him. Before we talk about the other basketball news, do want to mention United Commercial Insurance. They can make business insurance easy. They can write policies in 44 states around the country. So whether it's any of your liabilities, your workers' comp, you may think you have good business insurance, but let Brandon and United Commercial Insurance see if they can get you a better rate. 5-minute call might save you thousands of dollars. Check them out, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. And again, not just they're based in Boise, but they can help you out in 44 states around the country. So make sure to check them out. Ridley's Family Markets as well. 13 Idaho locations across the state of Idaho and in the states around as well. Find a location near you at shopridleys.com. They have the at-home shopping, the Skip app, the home delivery, all that great stuff. And it was good to see JL Skinner out there at a couple of the Ridley's locations over the weekend. Hopefully you made it out there and were able to meet JL and get some autographs and some stuff signed. If you weren't, you can go check out JL Skinner's website. They have some stuff there for purchase. But again, shopridleys.com, a great supporter of Bronco Nation News. And Play Timberstone as well was out there recently, Johnny. Great greens. Course is in phenomenal shape. I wish I could say the same about my golf game, but playtimberstone.com. Book your tee time now. And again, it's about a 35-minute drive. It's not terrible. Everyone, that's the only knack is their drive, and it's really not that bad. So get out to Timberstone. Great course, great people. Kelly and Tad do a tremendous job, and we appreciate their partnership here at Bronco Nation News. So there was a little other basketball news, and again, for folks coming in late, apologize for whatever the Wi-Fi issues are today. We're getting through it for today. But Emmanuel Akot going to Memphis, Johnny. Very interesting fit for him. I still have not seen him do an interview since he left. I've tried. He hasn't responded. I still don't know why he left. And now he goes to a place that's going to be full of other guys like him that are trying to get to the league and prove themselves. And Penny Hardaway, now his coach, going to be very, very interesting to see what happens with Emmanuel Akot, who has committed over the weekend to Memphis.
My question here, BJ, is I guess I would love to know why. Like why he needed to leave Boise State. What was it about the program here that wasn't conducive to Emmanuel Akot's futures playing pro basketball? Why this wasn't the right fit? Were they playing him at a position, asking him to be point guard? If anything, I would thought that was an advantage situation for Emmanuel Akot, having this program say you can run the one. He was a former 5-star, and I heard Memphis in their release, we get former 5-star Emmanuel Akot. Well, 5-stars don't play college basketball for 6 years in most cases. This will be Akot's 6th year of basketball. That was kind of interesting too, I thought. But ultimately, what's he getting at Memphis that he didn't get at Boise? He'd get a lot more minutes at Boise. He's got familiarity with Boise, with the city, with the coaching staff, with the conference, with everything else in that picture. Now he's going to Memphis. I mean, you're not playing in the ACC. You're playing in the AAC. Is he aware of that? All kidding aside. Are you closer to Canada? Is this a homecoming thing? Does the AAC put you closer to home? Emmanuel Akot's a foreign guy. Okay. Is it better NIL? Well, as far as I know, foreign players can't get NIL right now. So I don't know what it is that you want to. Can Penny Hardaway and Larry Brown take your game to a level that has you drafted in the NBA next year? Maybe they sold him on that. And hey, I mean, those are two guys you're going to listen to in basketball. If them saying, hey, we can get you drafted next year or high-level European ball. Remember, Emmanuel Akot's from Canada. That helps you on the overseas circuit because you don't go against usually a lot of leagues have a certain number of American players you can have on that roster. I don't think that goes into effect for Canadian players. I just don't know. I can't wait to see what he does at Memphis or what he doesn't do. I mean, is he going to start? What if he's not starting, BJ? He's the 6th or 7th man. He's playing 19 to 22 minutes a night, kind of like, say, what Max Rice plays at Boise State. Is Akot going to Memphis to be their Max Rice type of thing? That's a better move. If Akot's back in Boise, he's playing 33, 34 minutes a night, right? He's going to sit 3 or 4 minutes in the first half, 3 or 4 minutes in the second half, and him and a lot of other guys like that are going to get to play 30-plus minutes. I don't know if that's going to be the case at Memphis. I don't know why. I mean, they have what? They fly, they have their own plane, little things like that. I have no idea. This was the weirdest thing of the season for me, that Emmanuel Akot no longer wanted to be a part of what he was a big part in building in Boise, winning a conference championship. That doesn't happen every year for any team, not even like Duke. Conference championships are tough to come by, and he had a chance to run it back with his boys and really set his place and his mark in this town for basketball. And what's he going to be in Memphis? Nothing. He's going to play there 1 year. It'll be easily forgotten. No one will remember him. He might not even start, like I said. What do you think? I'll flip this on you, dude. BJ, why do you think he felt Memphis in this situation was better than what he had in Boise? I don't get it.
I don't either, man. I thought all along, and I came on with you guys, and I gave you the rankings of the 3 guys that were going to stay or go. And I felt the most strongly that he was going to leave of the 3, but I thought he was just going to go pro. I didn't think he was going to transfer. When I saw him enter his name in the transfer portal, that really, really surprised me on Emmanuel Akot. So I have no idea. And like I said, he hasn't done any interviews, at least with Boise media. We've tried to reach out to him. To this point, he hasn't wanted to talk. But I would say right now, Johnny, the chances are less than 50-50 that he has a better year at Memphis than he had last year at Boise State. Or that he will have this year. Right? Yeah, I don't know their depth chart. Yeah, I don't know what their whole situation is. I know they have a lot more guys on their team that probably think they're NBA players than Boise State does. So Penny's going to have to mix that together. There's some comments coming in. Zach says great to learn from Penny and Larry Brown. Okay. Got some different comments here. I don't know. And again, with the internet issues, the comments are a little hard to get those on the screen today, folks. So I apologize, but I don't know. I really, is that worth it though? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if somebody got in Emmanuel Akot's head and told him, you need to get, because again, they're not Power 5, like you said. I mean, I went on with Gary Parrish on his
AAC, dude. Yeah, I went
on with Gary Parrish, CBS Sports columnist. He hosts a radio show in Memphis. Okay, and I went on with him on Friday when Akot was visiting. and he was asking me about him, and he's like, dude, you could make an argument, and it's probably true that like the Mountain West is better than the AAC in basketball. Like
100%.
they have, a couple of teams, Houston, but like top to bottom, it's not like he's going.
It's on the level. Okay,
he may be going up in terms. He may be going up in terms of like the team, but he may not. He's not going up in terms of like the overall level of competition. Now Memphis is seen as more like a power 20, type team. Because of the players they get, the schedule they play in the non-con, Penny Hardaway being there. But overall, it's not really a different situation. And I'll ask you this, though, Johnny. Do you think that Marcus Shaver Jr. coming back had something to do with Akot leaving and vice versa? I mean, if Akot comes back, does Shaver not come back?
Yeah, was there something that went on inside that building that, we won't hear about? If we do, it'll be years down the road. Where
or just one of those guys wanting to be the man or not have to share.
There was some situation where Shaver was saying, look, I want to play point guard next year traditionally. And maybe Akot was thinking, well, I just want to go pro and then portal, but I might come back. My question is, too, did Akot, do you think, reached out in the last 3 weeks or so to Leon and said, hey, I want to come back if you'll have me? And Leon had to say, look, we've committed the point guard to Marcus. Like, that's our guy now. So either A, we're not going to have you back, or B, we'll have you back, but I can't tell you what your role is going to be offensively. It won't be what it was last year. We're changing things up that way. And then maybe Akot was like, okay, well then in that case, I'm gone. I want to go try to play point guard somewhere. I don't know. Maybe we'll find that out in the future, but yeah, it feels like that could be a part of this thing. I just wonder if Akot at any point during this said, I want to come back to Boise. And they said, you know what? We've moved on. And I respect Boise's position on that. They didn't want Akot to even jump into the portal. They wanted him to do what probably Shaver did. I'm going to test the pro waters. And if I don't like it, I'm coming back. And they would have been okay with that. And that's why it's so weird. And did you cover this team so well? Did you ever hear anything rift inside about E-Man not getting along with other dudes or coaches? I never heard anything like that. That's why this comes as such a surprise to Bronco Nation. Like, first off, we get you want to try to play pros, go for it. But after that, you're going into the portal, but you might still come back. It's just like there's this poor taste in people's mouths, I think, when it comes to Emmanuel Akot. Not that they won't cheer him on at Memphis. I'm sure they will. But again, I just go back to, what's Memphis have for you that's going to help you get to whatever level of pro basketball you're aspiring to get to that Boise can't help with? For me, it seemed like he had a better gig at Boise than now going to Memphis, where who knows what his role is going to be, BJ?
No doubt. And we only have 7 minutes left, so I want to switch to football here in a second. But we'll continue this discussion on Idaho Sports Talk today from 3 to 6 when I fill in for Mike Prater. But I will say this, Johnny. Memphis already got a commitment from SMU star Kendrick Davis, who's a point guard. And he was like the top, transfer in the portal, averaged 20-plus points a game. So Memphis has a point guard. It's not going to be Emmanuel Akot. So he's having to play off the ball if he goes there or not start, like you said.
Weird.
And it's interesting because you would think that, excuse me, Emmanuel Akot's, both those guys, Emmanuel Akot and Marcus Shaver, as different as they are, you would think that both their paths to professional basketball is as a point guard. Because on the Akot side, that's what's intriguing about him. He's 6'8", and he can be a point guard, and he can do other things. And how many point guards are 6'8"? And that's what he brings to the table. Marcus Shaver, if you're going to be his size, 6'1", 6'2", whatever he is, you can't probably be a shooting guard for the most part, especially in the NBA. So he has to be a point guard as well. And so I don't know if it was, hey, one or the other, you're not getting both back. I guess in 20 seconds or left, if you had to have picked one, who would you rather have on the team next year, Akot or Shaver?
That's a tough call, man. Wow. They both do so many things well. I wish I could just have them both. I'll say Marcus Shaver Jr. I said they made the right decision in Shaver, and we'll see what they have. But they'll miss Akot. They really will.
So there's a lot of questions still with the starting lineup, how that's going to look. You're going to have Shaver, you're going to have Degenhart, you're going to have Chibuzo Agbo, and then you're going to have, whether it be a Max Rice, RJ Keene, a Pavle Kuzmanovic at the other guard spot, and Sada and Ganga, I think at some point could work his way into the mix. I don't know if that's going to be in the first game of the season. I mean, don't forget it took Tyson Degenhart 6 games before he started. So I don't think the starting lineup the first game is going to be what it is, the last game, certainly. But, and then you're going to have that battle at center. And I think the summer will determine a lot about Milner and, Sylla. I will say this. I'm with you on the Milner train. A lot of people just writing him off.
No, he got a lot better as the year went by, BJ. And I think,
He led the entire junior college at Johnson County Community College. He led the entire country in field goal percentage. The dude has, he had 2 huge blocks in the Mountain West Championship game on Nathan Mensah at San Diego State. Their 7-footer, if you remember that. I mean, the dude just didn't get a ton of opportunity for continuous minutes. He was coming in and out, doing other things. I think Lucas Milner has again, not saying he's going to be a first-team all-league player, but I think there's upside still with Lucas Milner that
he won't hurt it. I got to throw a name in
on.
here too, BJ. I got to throw a name in. Kobe Young. Okay, he's the kid who said no to be a wide receiver at the University of Washington in the Pac-12 and said yes to coming and play college basketball at Boise State. And he looks the part physically. He wasn't one of those freshmen last year where we looked at it and said, dang, once that guy puts weight on, look out for him. The weight's already on. The physicality is already there. Don't count out Kobe Young. If he has a tremendous summer and works his tail off, I can see him being a guy who's even a rotational player, and the sky is the limit with that kid. You've seen him on the dunk line. Dude, that guy leaps. He's got serious athletic ability, and they redshirted him last year, obviously. They needed to. It just didn't make sense to play him and burn that redshirt. It's not like college football, as you know, the redshirt status. Kobe Young, man, keep an eye on. He did not come here to sit for 3 years, in my opinion. Watch out. I think he can have. He's got to have a good summer, and I think he will. But
Kobe Young and RJ Keene are 2 guys that I think fans are just kind of forgetting about in all this when they're saying they didn't do enough. They didn't do enough in the offseason. They didn't do, again, these coaches are around these guys every day at practice. If they feel this is the roster good enough to win the Mountain West, I think until they prove otherwise, you need to say, okay, they know what they're doing here. So we'll see. But hey, Transportation Compliance Service, check them out. TCS, if you're looking to get into the trucking industry or looking for a fresh start, a new career change, let TCS take care of you. They can help you with all the permits and things you need to get out on the road. It's a booming industry with the pandemic, and truck driving's a great way to kind of get out on your own and have a lucrative career. So they can help you with all the permits and things like that. It's a local company based in Meridian, and they can help you out nationally around the country. So check them out, transcomservice.com. The Rains family uses Boise Dentistry Co. Dr. Chris Meinert there on the screen, and you should as well. BoiseDentistryCo.com, full family dentistry. So they can do your kids, your wife, yourself, the entire family, and just a very friendly staff, and they do a great job. And it's just they make going to the dentist not as negative as some people see it. So check them out, BoiseDentistryCo.com. We're very appreciative of their support, and Lithia Ford of Boise as well. Compare, shop, finance. You can do it all online at lithiafordboise.com. We appreciate their support of Bronco Nation News. We got about 3 minutes left, Johnny, and our football topic that I'll be expanding on more on the website side, bronconationnews.com. Can Boise State football get back to dominating on the blue? We're looking at the 25 questions, storylines facing the team going into the season, and it used to be, hey, mark them down for 6 wins in the 6 home games and try to, do some things on the road. And that was it. And last year, Boise State loses 3 home games in a row. First time in 25 years, going back to 1996 that had happened. Johnny, they've lost 13 home games since 2000. 13 home games since 2000. 3 of them happened last year in a span of like 7 weeks. The tougher games are all at home this year as well, with Utah State and Fresno State and San Diego State and BYU. What do you make of the struggles at home last year, and can that be rectified?
Okay, I saw a line. Okay, never mind. I didn't see it. I made it up right now on the Johnny Ball Game Sportsbook. That losses on the blue this year for Boise State, the line is 1.5. And I think I would consider going over there, right? BYU is on the blue, San Diego State, Fresno State on the blue. Air Force is on the blue, BJ? No, they were there. They're in Colorado Springs this year.
It's Fresno State, San Diego State, BYU, and Utah State are the 4 tough home games.
Utah State, yeah. If the line's 1.5, I mean, are you feeling confident taking the under on that? I don't know if you are. This is such a get back year for Boise State. Get back to national prominence. Get back to the Mountain West Championship game. Get back to dominating this league. Get back to lighting up the scoreboard. You know, like a lot of those things that this fan base took for granted, we have not seen lately. And I know COVID shook a bunch of stuff up. And then obviously Avalos' first year last year, and he had a budget hiring, as we all know. I mean, I like Tim Plow, but that was a budget hire. Spencer Danielson keeping him budget hire, like that type of thing. I mean, like for Bonifá to be on this staff, I think is huge, BJ. I think that's tremendous. Getting guys who've been through the fire and played high level, coached high level ball, worked under Chris Peterson. But for me, this year's got so many questions. You have 25 questions. You could have made that 200 questions, and it would have been legit with this team this year. So it's going to be a fun summer to see what happens. And then the Oregon State game. BJ, being 1-0 is such a crucial situation, I think, for this team to be able to go into Pac-12 territory and get that win and keep that momentum. And this fan base, they just buy in more and more. The undefeated, you're in the national conversation. Like, this is a season that I think it's legit opening for a New Year's Six bid. Last year, Cincinnati's ranked, 5th or 6th in the country in preseason. You're like, okay, well, they're going to have to lose a couple times. They didn't lose, right? This year, do you know of a group of 5 team outside of maybe Cincinnati on reputation that is going to be ranked in the AP top 25? Well, any Mountain West team? Sunbelt? No. MAC? No.
I think
Conference
Houston.
USA? No.
I think Houston's getting some love. I think they're a team that people
Houston.
are liking. But
Yeah.
We'll see.
Maybe
I agree with you, and that's a question for down the road as our internet's getting worse. So luckily we're out of time here. But how big is the Oregon State opener is a question on our list. Because you could swing that and say if you get to 4-0, I mean, but yeah, 1.5 for the home games. I like that. We'll see moving forward, but I'll expand on that more. But again, Johnny, they've only lost 13 games since 2000. And 3 of them came in 7 weeks last year. I mean, it just doesn't happen. Losing on the blue last year, it did. We'll see what happens moving forward. But appreciate everybody for checking us out today. Apologize for the Wi-Fi issues. But I will be back with Johnny 3 to 6 today, co-hosting on Idaho Sports Talk. So listen to us today. We'll have some great discussion expanding on some of these topics. So 3 to 6 today, I'll be with Johnny. You can listen to KTIK.com, 95.3 FM, 1350 AM, the KTIK app as well. Appreciate everybody for sticking with us today, and we'll be back tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.